Hello, I'm Mr. Pleasant Books. For this book talk, we'll be discussing the first book in the Galaxy's Edge series, Legionnaire. This is written by Jason Anspach, I believe is how you pronounce it, and Nick Cole. It's actually a relatively new series. It's not that old, but it has a lot of books in the series. And there's the original Galaxy's Edge series, and there's the Order of the Centurion, and then there's the Medusa, or the contracts and requirements, and then the Savage Wars just came out. There's a lot to this series. So if you're looking for a science fiction set in the far future with blasters, but also slug throwers, then this will be a good one for you. And especially if you're into the camaraderie that is between soldiers, because they very much have that in the Galaxy's Edge series, which is one of my favorite things. Mainly because I was a soldier, so I enjoy seeing people who really know what that's like. But from here forward, there will be spoilers, just letting you know. Alright, spoilers from here forward. Bye. Alright, I love how this book starts, because the very first line, the galaxy is a dumpster fire, lets you know right there it's going to be a serious book. It's going to be definitely a book about soldiers, because soldiers describe, no matter what their deployment, soldiers describe it as just being bad. This one does sound pretty bad, because it's Legionnaires. I'm guessing that they got the idea a little bit from the French Foreign Legion, because anyone can join, and they also get nicknames. Like there's Exo, Rook, 20s, Wraith, Pappy, just a bunch of different names that people have. Not everybody has a nickname yet, but it seems like most people do. And they it starts with them having been on an 8th-month deployment around the edge of the galaxy. They've taken over the Milky Way, although they've lost Earth. They don't know where Earth is, it seems. But on one of their deployments, they head towards Kublar, which is a world that's populated by humanoid frogs, is what it sounds like. And they have air sacs, 3 fingers, they hop when they run, and they're very also aggressive and violent. They like fighting. And it gives it from the point of view of a Sergeant Chun. And I like Sergeant Chun. Sergeant Chun, he just seems really, really cool, really fun. I have a feeling I'm more like Exo in my own personality, just because the way that he handles Captain Devers, the douche, he's an appointed from the House of Reason to be a captain over these soldiers, and anytime somebody buys their way to the military, they suck, and Captain Devers really, really sucks. And the way that Exo just attacks him and knocks him down, I have a feeling that that's more me rather than Sergeant Chun, who's a little more calm and tries to, be collected and reserved for his troops. I'd have shot Captain Devers. Friendly fire, I maybe would have waited for combat, but he definitely would have died. I would not have let him live. I mean, he almost dies, well, I assume he lives, that's right, because in the end of the book he gets an award. But he lives. He gets shot in the neck and it's bleeding out. For whatever reason, somebody goes to save him, even though he's gotten all of these people killed. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so they're going in. They're trying to set up relations, and they get ambushed, attacked by MBT, main battle tank. They get by about 150 enemy cubes, and also the MCR, mid-core rebels. Now, as you're going through the book, they're going to use a lot of acronyms, but don't worry, Sergeant Chun tells you what those acronyms are. So you don't have to feel lost. Like CF, Camp Forge, LS, Legion, something or other. And so he explains what the acronyms are. And they have, like I said, they have blasters, but the cubes have slug throwers are their main weapon, like a projectile round, like basically the weapons we have now. And that's because they're a little further behind, whereas the Legionnaires have blasters, which I'm guessing means lasers. Or like the stormtrooper type weapons, just blasters, yeah. And so they wipe out the cubes. I mean, the tank destroys a bunch of sleds. Another perfect example of what Captain Devers, is that it's supposed to be the leader is the last one out of the combat sled, and when his sled gets hit, only one Liege escaped, and it turned out to be him, because he ran to the front and left all of the other soldiers to die. And then he lies about getting promoted so that he can be in charge. he gives the enemy their secure comm line, and so the enemy can attack. He's just horrible. You just, yeah, and the whole, good on Jason, Anspach, and Nick Cole, because they really make you hate Captain Devers, which you're supposed to. And so excellent writing on them for that. And you wanted to punch him right in his stupid face. But they take out the ambush. They win mainly because of Captain Chung and Lieutenant Wraith. They go through it and they finish. They head on to Muna Village, which is where they're trying to get support for their democratically elected governor or senator, whoever governor. I believe it's a senator for the coups to start running themselves, and also to help them join more into the Republic. Because there's the Legionnaires, then there's the Republic Army, and then there's the Republic Navy. The Legionnaires are the elite, the best, the ones who, if you need to get it done, the Legionnaires are the ones to get it done. They have the best armor, the best weapons, the best training. They're the toughest, the fastest, the smartest. That's what the Legionnaires are for. That's why it's about them. And that's why they just slaughter the coups in the ambush. When they get onto Muna Village, they're talking to the chieftain, and he'll only talk to Sergeant Chun because everyone else is wearing their helmet except Sergeant Chun, because his got destroyed in the attack. When Captain Devers, the douche, tried to make him wear it even though it was broken and he couldn't talk, couldn't hear, nothing, Lieutenant Wraith said, "Hey, can I look at your bucket real quick?" And he grabs it, and the captain's there smugly like, "Yes, look at it, you can still wear it." Lieutenant Wraith pulls out his vibro knife, stabs it into the helmet, cuts it in half, and drops it on the ground, looked right into the captain's eyes and said, "The helmet doesn't work," and just walks away. Oh, I love that part. But Pappy, who is the major of the leader of the company, promotes Sergeant Chun to Lieutenant Chun, and Lieutenant Wraith to Captain Wraith, so that it's not Captain Devers in charge, it's Captain Wraith. They head on. That's when they get to the Muna Village, and because Chun doesn't have a helmet and he's actually looking at them, the coups like him more, and then he also partakes in their ritual drink, and so the chieftain will only talk to Chun. And until Devers says, "We'll do anything you say, whatever you want," then that's when the chieftain looks at him and says, "Help us attack the tribe that attacked you. If we go and destroy them, then we'll consider ourselves friends and we'll back you." So they go in, they blow the living crap with artillery out of this other coup village, and then the Legionnaires go in and find out that it wasn't actually an enemy coup village. It was where a Republic science team had been at. And they just killed like 80 people who were actually on their side, because it turned out the Muna Village chieftain is against them and doesn't want them there. And so they get everybody up, they escape back to Camp Forge, find out Camp Forge has been destroyed, the capital ship in space has been destroyed. And so they head towards the only place they can think of, which is Outpost Zulu, to send a message to deep space to hopefully get another capital ship in to save them, because they have a reporter robot that can send deep space messages. And when they get there, the coups and the MCR just start attacking. And the Legionnaires, because they're the best, just blow them to crap, kill hundreds and thousands of them in just hardcore fighting. It's really fun to listen to it, because I have Audible. It was really fun to listen to it. And they just end up beating the crap out of them. But then the coups, or the MCR, get their own capital ship in, and start sending bombers down to hit them. And so their own capital ship, their main capital ship, the Mercutio, shows up, sends down rescue pods and drop ships and all that type of stuff. Their own fighters start destroying the coups, the MCR start taking out the ship, and they all start loading onto the dropship. Well, most of them do, because some of the soldiers are cut off, and then they're mainly there, honestly, for Captain Devers, the appointee, the freaking jerk. I need you, and he's the only reason really that they were saved, is because of that jerk. But Sergeant Chun, Exo, 20s, Masters, Skag, who is a Army Repub, but normally they don't talk to the Army Repub or hang out with them, but Skag's proved himself to be pretty good, so Sergeant Chun was keeping him close to help him survive. Lieutenant Wraith, Pappy, unfortunately dies. He jumped up on the twins for the combat sled and gets shot and dies. And Captain Devers, shot in the neck, doesn't die, lives. They go back to the main world called Utopia, or Utopian, something like that. They said they changed the name every month, so it doesn't matter. It's Utopia, we'll call it. And we end with Exo in a bar drinking, thinking of quitting the Legion, because Sergeant Chun or Lieutenant Chun and Captain Wraith both demoted back. Captain Devers is getting the awards, nobody else is, and Exo just doesn't want to deal with it. He's tired of the Republic interfering with the Legion and making these points be the heroes when they've got people killed. While he's sitting there drinking, an old Legionnaire is there drinking too, and starts telling a story about how he went to this planet to take out a pirate king, but also to the Republic sent the Legionnaire battalion on an assassination mission to kill this girl, who was the daughter of some traitor that they had in the Republic. And as they're fighting, they run into the Cybar, which is the perfect killing machine. It's this creature that's part human, part robot, heals itself as being attacked, and they had a fight through that. They lost almost 1,000 Legionnaires in order to get to this girl. They had Lieutenant Hilbert, Tyrus Rex, General Tyrus Rex, who was well known and just an amazing general. And they fight through it. They blow up the ancients' ruins. They get away. Lieutenant Hilbert gets his throat cut, but he survives. We find out that Lieutenant Hilbert was actually Pappy, and that this old Legionnaire was saved by Pappy back 20, 30 years ago, and that's why Pappy had the rough voice that he did. But Pappy saved him, and he says Pappy was a hero, but the Repub is just trying to destroy the Legion. But don't quit. You're not there for the Repub. You're there for the brothers by your side, which is really what it comes down to in combat. You're fighting for the person next to you. And yes, freedom. Yes, saving others. But you fight and you keep going mainly for the people by your side. That's really what it is for a lot of soldiers. And that's the end. That's how the book ends, with Exo in that bar. The old Legionnaire leaves to go see his granddaughter who's coming to visit. And it was a really, really good book. I enjoyed it a lot. I definitely would recommend it. If you haven't read it and you just listened to what I said, I would definitely recommend it for you to read it. But thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Come back, Mr. Pleasant Books. Talk to you later. Bye.